Council, my name is Harry Zavos. I'm a citizen of Glendale. I understand that GWP is going to recommend an electrical rate increase to cover critical capital improvements that without the increase will have to be deferred. With that regard, I wish the Council to be alive to the fact that under Article 13C of the State Constitution, as amended by Proposition 26, such a proposal has to be put to a vote of the people. And here's why I say that. Article 13C of the State Constitution defines local government to include a charter city. So by its terms, it would apply to a charter city. Second, it defines tax as used in Article 13C broadly so as to include an electrical rate increase. And here I quote, as used in this article, tax means any levy, charge, or extraction of any kind imposed by local government except the following. And then it lists 7 exceptions which would not be a tax. Now, the only one that remotely would apply to an electrical fee is the second one. And again, I quote from the Constitution. A charge imposed for a specific government service or product provided directly to the payor. So far, so good. Electrical fees are charged to ratepayers to supply them electrical power. But then it goes on to say, and is not provided to those not charged. There's the rub. Because electricity for streetlights, electricity for traffic lights is provided to the general public without charge. So it doesn't meet that first requirement. And if that were not the case, it goes on to state, and which does not exceed the reasonable costs to the local government of providing the service or product. And we know that under the current budget being considered, almost $21 million is going to be transferred of electrical funds, are going to be transferred to the general fund. An amount which, if it's not transferred, would take care of almost all of those critical capital improvements that would have to be deferred without the rate increase. So neither of those requirements to exclude a rate increase for electrical power fits the definition of Article 13C. So now as a tax, what kind of a tax is it? And again, Article 13C tells us. In Section 1, subsection D, it says, a special tax means any tax imposed for specific purposes. In this case, the fee is imposed for the specific purpose of providing electrical power. And as a special tax, Article 2, Section D of Article 13C of the California Constitution provides as follows. No local government, including a charter government, may impose, extend, or increase any special tax unless and until that tax is submitted to the electorate and approved by a 2/3 vote. Now, if this council is going to consider a rate increase, and if its city attorney has not advised it already that such a rate increase under the state constitution must be submitted to a vote of the people, then I urge this council to ask for a formal legal opinion as to whether or not under Article 13C, given the transfer of electrical funds to the general fund, given the supplying of electricity to the general public, whether under Article 13C, this city is required to submit any proposed rate increase of electrical rates to the voting public. I also am going to submit, if I can just explain briefly, to the city manager, and he can supply copies to the council and to the city attorney, as to why, under the charter, if in fact there are critical improvements necessary for the electrical works under the charter, no funds can be transferred from the electrical works to the general fund. And I would be glad to go over that with the general manager or anybody else.